Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler. Two names that echo through history. Both men commanded the world's attention. They stirred passionate support and fierce opposition. Their rises to power share chilling similarities. This essay will explore their strategies and impact on democracy. Both Trump and Hitler were masters of communication. They understood the power of words to move, to persuade, to incite. Both men tailored their language to their audience, often simplifying complex issues into digestible sound bites. Their speeches were rarely nuanced. They were rallying cries filled with emotion and conviction. Hitler, with his booming voice and theatrical gestures, captivated audiences throughout Germany. His speeches, often delivered at night, took on an almost religious fervor. Trump, though lacking Hitler's oratorical skills, was a master of the soundbite. His simple, often repeated phrases like "Make America Great Again" resonated with millions. Both men understood the importance of repetition. They hammered home their message relentlessly, ensuring it took root in the minds of their followers. They understood that in the realm of propaganda, simplicity was key. A simple lie, repeated often enough, could begin to feel like truth. Control over information is crucial for any aspiring autocrat. Both Hitler and Trump recognized this, and both ruthlessly exploited the media landscape of their time. Hitler, operating in an era dominated by print and radio, established a vast propaganda machine. Joseph Goebbels, his minister of propaganda, controlled newspapers, radio waves, and the burgeoning film industry. Trump, on the other hand, inherited a far more fragmented media landscape. Cable news, with its 24-hour news cycle and partisan leanings, provided a fertile ground for his message. He bypassed traditional gatekeepers, using Twitter to speak directly to his base, circumventing fact-checking and editorial control. Both leaders understood the power of spectacle. They created compelling narratives, often casting themselves as victims of a corrupt system. They demonized their opponents, painting them as enemies of the people. Facts were irrelevant. What mattered was the emotional response, the sense of outrage and grievance. The political rallies of both Hitler and Trump were more than just speeches. They were carefully staged spectacles designed to stir emotion and forge a sense of unity. Hitler's rallies, held in vast arenas adorned with swastikas and banners, were meticulously orchestrated displays of Nazi power. Trump's rallies, while lacking the overt militarism of the Nazi gatherings, shared a similar energy. Held in packed arenas and airport hangars, they featured booming music, enthusiastic crowds, and Trump himself basking in the adulation. Both men understood the power of symbolism. Hitler had his swastika, his uniforms, his torchlight processions. Trump had his red "Make America Great Again" hats, his American flags, his chants of USA, USA. These symbols served as visual shorthand for their ideologies, instantly recognizable and emotionally charged. Section 5. Exploiting challenges, sowing discord. Neither Hitler nor Trump rose to power in times of peace and prosperity. They thrived on chaos, exploiting existing social, economic, and political divisions to advance their agendas. Hitler capitalized on the economic turmoil and political instability that gripped Germany after World War I. He offered scapegoats, Jews, communists, liberals, blaming them for Germany's woes. Similarly, Trump tapped into a deep well of resentment and anxiety in America. He channeled the anger of those who felt left behind by globalization and cultural change. He stoked fears about immigration, crime, and the loss of American identity. Like Hitler, he offered simple solutions to complex problems, often rooted in nativism and xenophobia. Both men were masters of division. They understood that a divided society is a fertile ground for extremism. By amplifying existing tensions, by turning neighbor against neighbor, they created an environment where their brand of authoritarian populism could flourish. Section 6. Populism's lure, channeling grievances. At the heart of both Hitler and Trump's political strategies lay a potent weapon: populism. Populism, at its core, is a political approach that pits the pure people against a corrupt elite. It thrives on a sense of grievance, a belief that the system is rigged against ordinary people. Hitler positioned himself as the champion of the German people, the only one who could restore their lost greatness. He railed against the Treaty of Versailles, the globalist bankers, the communists, anyone he could paint as an enemy of the German nation. Trump similarly cast himself as the voice of the forgotten American, the one who would drain the swamp of Washington corruption. Both men expertly channeled the anxieties and frustrations of their time. They offered simplistic solutions, scapegoats to blame, and a vision of a brighter future under their leadership. It was a seductive message, one that resonated with millions hungry for change, even if that change came at the expense of democratic norms and institutions. Section 7. Democracy's Fragility, Undermining Institutions. Perhaps the most chilling similarity between Hitler and Trump lies in their willingness to undermine democratic institutions. Hitler, after his appointment as Chancellor, moved swiftly to consolidate power. He suppressed opposition parties, silenced dissent, and eroded the independence of the judiciary. The Reichstag fire, likely orchestrated by the Nazis themselves, provided a pretext for suspending civil liberties. Trump's assault on American democracy was less overt, but no less insidious. He relentlessly attacked the media, labeling any unfavorable coverage as fake news. He sowed doubt about the integrity of the electoral process, culminating in his baseless claims of a stolen election in 2020. His actions, culminating in the January 6th insurrection, demonstrated his disdain for the peaceful transfer of power, a cornerstone of democratic governance. Both men, in their own way, chipped away at the very foundations of democracy. They eroded public trust, fueled polarization, and normalized the language of authoritarianism. Their actions serve as a stark reminder that democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires constant vigilance and active participation to survive. Section 8. Safeguarding Democracy, Education and Engagement. The stories of Hitler and Trump, though separated by time and circumstance, offer valuable lessons for safeguarding democracy in the 21st century. They highlight the fragility of democratic institutions and the need for constant vigilance against those who would exploit them. So, how do we protect ourselves from the siren song of authoritarian populism? Education is paramount. We need to equip citizens with the critical thinking skills to recognize misinformation, propaganda, and the subtle manipulation of language. Media literacy is crucial in navigating today's fragmented information landscape. We must learn to question sources, evaluate evidence, and engage with diverse perspectives. Beyond education, we need active and engaged citizenry. Apathy is the lifeblood of authoritarianism. When people disengage from the political process, when they become disillusioned with democratic institutions, it creates a void that demagogues are all too eager to fill. Section 9. Conclusion: A call to vigilance. The echoes of history resonate through the stories of Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler. They remind us that democracy is not a given, a static state of being. It is a constant process, a contract between the governed and the government that requires constant renewal, constant defense. The tactics of fear, division, and disinformation are not new. They are as old as civilization itself. But by understanding their seductive power, by recognizing their early warning signs, we can better resist their allure. We can choose to engage in reasoned debate, to seek common ground, to value truth over convenience. The future of democracy rests not on the shoulders of politicians and pundits, but on the actions of everyday citizens. It is a responsibility, a burden, and a privilege. It is a call to vigilance, a call to action, a call to ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated in our time.